This is Chapter A, which is about adding and subtracting rational numbers. And this is A.1 Rational Numbers. Alright, so an integer is the set of whole numbers and their opposites. So if you think of a number line, you'd have like -10, -9, -8, and then it goes all the way up 0, and then you have all the positive numbers too. A rational number is a number that can be written as a fraction. So if we have a over b, where a and b are integers, and b is not 0, so this denominator number cannot be 0. We cannot divide by 0. You can't do it. It won't work. And then we have the absolute value, which is the distance between 0 and your number on a number line. So I'm looking at the absolute value of -4. That's 4 units away from 0, and the absolute value of 4 is also 4 units away. So it takes whatever's inside these and makes it positive. So we're going to find the absolute value of these. So if I have -7, I'm going to see how far away is that from 0, and that's 7 units. Absolute value of 21 is 21. Absolute value of -10 is -10. Absolute value of 0 is 0. Absolute value of 1/2 is 1/2. And the absolute value of -3.7 is a positive 3.7. Now we're going to compare with less than, greater than, or equal to. So if I compare the absolute value of -4.2 and 7 over 2, I'm going to make a number line and put them each on there. Now I'm seeing which one has a greater distance from 0. 4.5, or 4.2, or 3.5. So the absolute value of -4.2 is greater than 7 over 2. If I compare negative absolute value of 1/2 and the absolute value of -2/3, this negative on the outside, you're going to find the absolute value, then you're going to make it negative. So that's going to be -1/2 and 2/3. So 2/3 is greater than -1/2. Now if I'm comparing these two, I can reduce my fraction, and so I get 4/5. So then I have -4/5 and -4/5, and those are equal. Alright, a moon has an ocean underneath its icy surface. Scientists run tests above and below the surface. The table shows the elevations of each test, which is deepest and which is closest to the surface. So I'm going to make a number line and put each of these tests on the number line. So 0 is going to be the surface, and then positive numbers are above, negative numbers are below. So I can see that salinity is the deepest. It's the one furthest, the lowest number we have furthest away from 0. Now, to find out which one is closer to the surface, which one's closer to 0, I'm going to find out which one has a smaller absolute value. So I'm going to compare their absolute values. So it's 0.3 and 0.25. So 0.3 is bigger, but I'm looking for which one is closer to 0, and that's 0.25. So that one is closer to the surface.